have, you already know. Get the fuck out of my face.
What's going on, guys? Back again with our video of the week, and this time it's on the B&T APC223. I made one of these videos a few weeks back, and for whatever reason it got pulled, so I had to make another one, but it's all fine and dandy because I did get an upgrade that I've been waiting for a while, which was the B&T collapsible brace over here. So I'll talk about that in a second. But this gun happens to be one of my favorites in my collection, but more importantly, this is the gun that I trust the most, and this would kind of be like my go-to war gun. If I needed to pull one gun out of the safe and you know, head out to battle, this would be it. And the reason that I say that is just because it's super reliable. It's perfect size. It's a 9-inch barrel, so I mean, you're just kind of like at that PDW length, and it doesn't weigh much, even with, you know, all the accessories and the 60-round drum that's currently on there. It's not too bad. I'm gonna say it's about 8 pounds with everything that's on here currently, and this thing fully loaded. So I mean, not too bad considering that you know, it is completely decked out with all this crap. And we'll go over what these accessories are. But like I mentioned, super reliable is the other thing. These are piston driven guns, and they are absolutely beautifully made. The fit and finish, the controls on the piston right here on the gas system, super easy to follow and to manipulate. The fit and finish of the machining and of the anodization is second to none. Those of you that have kind of been following my channel for a while know that I love B&T a lot, and I'm a huge fan of their products, their accessories, and I tend to look for their accessories if they are at all available for the guns that I do own, just because you know exactly what you're getting. Once you have, like, you know, one of their firearms, or if you've ever bought one of their accessories, you kind of already know what to anticipate, and it is second to none quality that you typically get with these guys. So with that being said, I've fired this thing quite a few times at this point, and I've put probably, I want to say, about 300 rounds through it. So not a huge amount, but I'm trying to conserve ammunition at this point because it's kind of getting harder and harder to get a hold of this shit, as I'm sure all of you guys know by now. But I could tell you that it hasn't had a single flaw, hasn't had any malfunctions. It has run like butter. I haven't cleaned it. I haven't opened it up. It came like just with a little bit of oil that was over the bolt carrier, but not a lot. I didn't see any real you know, globs of grease or anything like that were applied to anything. So it was just kind of pretty clean right out of the box with just a little bit of oil in there. And that's it. I have not touched it. So with that being said, no surprise that it's run flawlessly. And I could tell you that as far as, you know, just like the controls and everything like that, if you don't know, the controls on the B&T, on the new APC lines are pretty common, despite, you know, which type of their firearms you buy, whether it be one of their PCCs or one of their rifles. You get sort of the same controls, which is just about completely ambidextrous, depending on which model you get. Sometimes you'll have like these non-pro models. So this is the APC223. It's not, they don't have a pro version of this one yet, but the non-pro models will come with a charging handle that can be rotated from one side to the other. However, it's not ambidextrous to the extent that you have a charging handle on either side at all given times like the Pros do. And these do not fold out of the way like the Pros do, which kind of sucks considering the fact that they reciprocate. So this, if you're not careful and you put your thumb up here when you're shooting, that can definitely get you hit pretty hard over here when this thing's cycling. So just one of the little things that you kind of have to be aware of, but that's the exact same thing that you get with the Scar as well. There's a lot of similarities with what I've seen on this build and the Scar, but there are some major differences. It's a one-piece upper on the Scar and the polymer lower, so kind of have the same thing here. You got a polymer lower over here. You've got a aluminum upper. However, the handguard is a separate piece. It may not look like it because it fits on there really, really well. And the machining is so nice that it almost looks like it's a one-piece upper, but it's not, which is nice because most people that do have some complaints about the Scar complain about the fact that if you did go to a shorter version of the Scar, or if you got, if you SBR'd a Scar, the handguard is part of the upper, so you can't really, you could extend to it, but you can't go shorter. And typically there's no option to really change out if you wanted to get like something like an M-lock or whatever. You're kind of stuck with what the Scar gives you, which is basically a quad rail. So with that being said, that's kind of where the similarities end, because everything else about this thing is proprietary. So you've got a really, really, really cool recoil buffer system that's in here. It's actually embedded into whatever type of stock or brace you end up buying for this thing. On the inside of this adapter that sits on the butt end of this gun is basically a little piston. And this piston looks like looks literally just like a piston. And it has a spring that's wrapped around it. And then it's got like the flat part that's right over here. So when this thing cycles back, it hits that piston. The spring kind of gives it some cushion and it travels a little bit further back to mitigate some of that recoil. It is one of the most unique features of just about all these B&T guns, and it definitely does work. It helps to mitigate the recoil. It softens the impact, and it keeps them nice and straight when you're firing. So I've got the APC9 Pro. It's got the same exact system on it. You feel it when you're shooting it. It definitely allows the recoil to remain linear. And what I mean by that is that it's not that you're not going to feel the blowback. However, it's not going to lift the muzzle when you're shooting, especially if you're rapid firing. It keeps that recoil straight into your shoulder. And it does soften it quite a bit, but more than the softening, I think it's the recoil, just the control and the control of having muzzle flip or muzzle rise. And that's the biggest problem that you get with recoil. So with that being said, it works phenomenally well. It's just, it's an awesome system. The controls, like I mentioned, are pretty much all ambi. So you got your magazine release here on the left-hand side. You've got it here on the right. You've got a bolt hold open if you pull this up on both sides. And you have a bolt close if you pull it down. Really cool feature there. Again, some of you guys have seen the video I did on the XCR. Very similar system there, except for the XCR. They've got it down here by the bottom of the trigger guard here. I personally would like it down here a little bit better. It just feels more natural than to have to reach that high up to get to it. But in either case, I will take any day, 10 times out of 10, I will take any type of mechanism that they embed into the gun that has a bolt hold open and bolt close that's already built into the gun, rather than not having it like you would get with a AR-15. So with that being said, Just put this bad boy on here. So this is the B&T collapsing brace, and it's not an aftermarket product. This is actually made by B&T. It just uses basically these 3 different points that you can open up to, and it uses gravity to close. It does not have anything that kind of protrudes your ability to just quickly extend out to full length over here. You can open it more slowly to try to get to these different levels, but this is just basically made for emergency situations. If you have it collapsed and you need to open it, you can do it just that quickly. So it's awesome. It's super solid. These rails right here do not flex whatsoever. They are steel. This is the Gearheadworks Tailhook. This is the Mod1C. So this is a little bit shorter than the full size one that would give it probably another inch of length here. And it does look much better on this thing because it's a pretty compact pistol, and I wanted to keep it that way. So this thing is not cheap. They usually they're supposed to go for about 650 or so bucks, but they've been just going to outrageous amounts, and that's already an outrageous amount. But lately, because of the shortage with everything, they've been on back order. I've been seeing them for as high as $900, almost $1,000 in some cases. Luckily, I was able to get one directly from B&T Parts, and it was 625 bucks. So what they would normally go for. But it just was a wait to get this thing because they've been out of stock forever. So I got kind of lucky there just recently. But outside of that, got the Holosun 510C GR model. That's the green dot. One of my favorite optics. You guys see it on a lot of my guns. It just does its job, and it does it well, and it doesn't beat you up over the head with the pricing. This is a B&T AFG, so this is their proprietary AFG. You know, it's pretty similar to what you would get with Magpul or anybody else. It just has a continuous curve versus on the Magpuls, it kind of gives you an angle and then a straightforward angle. So it's just kind of, it feels more natural on this thing. Otherwise, pretty much the same shit. They give you rail covers, which is kind of nice out of the box. And it's got kind of, you know, it's a pretty thin handguard. When they add in all the pick rails and stuff, it fattens it up a little bit, but it does help to have those covers because it just gives you a little bit more grip. And it doesn't feel like any of this stuff is eating into your hands, which it's kind of hard to do anyways because these are polymer, much like the SCAR. So they give you the polymer rails right here on the 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock position. The ones on the bottom and on the top are metal. And what else can I tell you guys? The gas system is very easy to operate. You really just have 2 settings. You've got suppressed and unsuppressed essentially. And it tells you, I mean, it's kind of dummy proof here. It tells you if you're flipped over to this side that you are on suppressed. On the other side, you are on normal. So can't really mess that up. Really nice flash hider here. It works really well from what I've seen so far. And I love the fact that the coating on here looks more titanium. I'm not sure if it is a titanium part, although I wouldn't be surprised, but it just completes that look. It's really a beautiful gun. And I guess what I can tell you is the thing that stands out to me the most about this gun is that it has the smoothest action of any gun I've ever racked. So most people that you'll see that do reviews for this thing will tell you the same. It's like, you know, it's freaking like glass on glass, or, you know, like it's riding on ball bearings or whatever, but it is super, super smooth. And let me tell you, that helps when you're shooting a short little, you know, rifle like this, to not make it feel overwhelmingly, you know, like it's jumping all over the place on you when you're firing rapid fire successions and whatnot. So I would just call this one of the best 5.56 rifles or pistols, whatever variant you get on the market today. The quality that you get with everything and anything that B&T makes is second to none. It's very, very evident when you shoot this thing how smooth it runs and how reliably it runs, that you're buying quality. They're not cheap. These go for right over $3,000, about 31 or 3,200 bucks, depending on where you get it from. They are worth every damn penny. Now, obviously, you start incorporating things like the telescopic stock or brace, and you start getting some accessories and this and that. Now you're talking well over $4,000. But again, in today's market, there's not really a lot that I could compare this to. I would say that the ACR is very, very close, although the ACR in terms of quality and fit and finish is not as finely tuned as this thing is, for obvious reasons. They've had all kinds of QC problems that we've discussed in the past. I still think it's one of the best guns you can possibly buy is the ACR. However, when it comes to just the little details to fit and finish and the quality that you're getting without worrying about any QC problems, these things are they're second to none. The XCR would be another very, very comparable platform. And they are, I would say, significantly less expensive, and maybe a better bargain overall would be the XCR over the APC. But if you don't care about the savings, you're just trying to go out and get like best damn wow type of gun, anything that you buy from B&T is going to have that effect. They freaking look amazing. They function amazing. And there's nothing that I can say that is going to be a negative about these things, except for the price, obviously. But again, you get what you pay for. If you're somebody that likes the finer things and you don't mind putting out an extra $500 to, let's say, $1,000 over what you'd get something comparable for, but you want that finely tuned machine that nobody else really has out there, and you want to turn some heads at the range, let me tell you, this would be one of them right here. So with that said, guys, I know I kind of, well, it doesn't really seem like I rushed through this stuff, but I kind of rushed through this stuff. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please post them in the comments section. As always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody out there that's been commenting. I try to get to all your questions as soon as I possibly can. I enjoy the interaction. There's some really cool points of view out there and some really good commentary. So keep them coming, guys, and please subscribe, because if you like this content, you subscribing is definitely going to help me out and hopefully allow me to bring more content like this to you guys. So keep them coming, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.